we will be there. Amazing. I swear every video starts with me drinking squash. You wouldn't know the difference for the first few minutes. Hello, so I've got someone there. Hello. Okay. And then hopefully you guys over there can hear me okay and see me okay. Okay. There we go. Amazing. My blinds look dodgier each time I teach here. One day I'll sort them out. We'll just ignore them for now. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Wet Tuesday. I hope you're really well. I can see something over on Instagram. Apologies though, I definitely can't read it from here. So I'll have a quick look in case it's something crazy. Hello, amazing. So I hope that means that you can hear me over that way too. So it is our Tuesday night class. We normally go for an hour, something like that. So yeah, do feel free to let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like me to do today. But I'm just going to go for that all over general full body stretch, kind of feeling my usual Tuesday self, like I need to stretch everything out. So yeah, so that's the plan. So if you've got a mat, that's brilliant. Just in your comfies. I mean, I'm getting looser and looser in yoga clothes at the moment. These are just like joggy bottoms and a t-shirt. So just get yourself comfy on a mat if you've got one. Seated pose if you can. Remember, you can always just pop a cushion underneath you if that's a bit more comfortable for you. And then we'll just take a nice big deep breath to tune in. So sitting up nice and tall. I just want you to take that big deep breath in. Feel the breath go all the way down to your belly. And then we can just exhale out the mouth and just allow the body to settle. From there, I want you to take 3 big deep breaths with me. So we're going to bring the hands down to the sides. Take that big inhale to float all the way up, nice and tall. Easy exhale out the mouth, brings those hands down towards the chest. And I just want you to plug the thumbs in towards your heartbeat and just see if you can find that nice, easy rhythm. And we'll do the same thing 2 more times. Big inhale floats you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. And one last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, it's a good time just to scan through the body and just notice how it feels. That might be the temperature of the skin. It might be any aches you've got anywhere today, any little stiff areas. And we'll just draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much. Just noticing if it's maybe sitting in the chest. Maybe you can send it a little lower down towards the belly. Maybe it feels quite quick or slow today. And finally, the mind. I just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. Then whenever you feel ready to, we're going to start to bring the hands down to the knees with the palms up and we'll warm ourselves up. So sitting up nice and tall, start by taking an inhale and turn your head all the way over to the right just to stretch into the neck. And then as you exhale, taking that all the way over to the other side, almost seeing if you can look over the shoulder. Big inhale takes you back, just breathing down into the belly. And again, that exhale will soften you over. On your next inhale, all the way over, I want you to exhale your head down into a semicircle. So we're going to relax it all the way down. So we're looking in between the legs. Really relax the shoulders here. Get that stretch in the neck and all the way into the back. And then ease up to the other side. So we're drawing that big U shape. Remembering any spots that you find that just feel good to linger. And we relax the head, move around a little bit, take a bit of movement. And then ease up. Everything in your own time. Just want you to take one more of those and center back at the middle whenever you feel ready. Have a little mooch around, just have a little twist. Good. Once you're there, if you can, I want you to bring your hands down to the ground. Gently lift your bottom up and then come back down so you're nice and tall. Or just place your hands on your shins, lift your chest a little bit just to get the stretch that way. So we'll take our first twist. On this twist this time, I want you to inhale to lift both hands up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to move over towards the right. So you're going to twist your whole body over to the right and just bring those hands down. It might be one grabs the outside of that knee, the other one maybe comes onto the ground behind you, and just look over the shoulder. Then take a big inhale, lift both hands up to the ceiling again, and then exhale, twist the other way. So just crossing over the body. I'm going to do that 2 more times each way. So take an inhale, lift up, exhale, twist. Inhale, lift up, exhale, twist. Last one for me. Inhale, lift up, exhale, twist. And one last time. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Good. Take a nice big inhale, lift both hands up to the ceiling, get nice and tall, and then exhale, gently forward fold down. So I want you to give your bum a little wiggle around here. Either cross the arms over your chest and bring the head down, or if you've got that room, walk the hands out in front of you and relax down there. 2 big deep breaths for me, and on those exhales, that's where we're trying to soften down a little bit deeper. So we inhale, lift the chest, make that room, and then exhale, soften down. One more time. On your next inhale, lift your chest slightly, walk your hands over to one side. So almost so you're bringing your chest over one leg, and then exhale down again for me. So just a little bit of a different stretch in towards the back. You can also take one hand here just to help ease your chest over to get that chest in line with the leg and bring the head down. We can start to lift the head, and then that same thing, very slowly leaning forward, sweep yourself over to the other side. If you feel good, if you feel happy to, just take that hand, just apply a bit of pressure so you can rest your chest down and relax down. Just take a few breaths there for me. Slowly back to the center. Take an inhale, gently roll up, and then slide your hands behind you, placing them down on the ground. I want you to take an inhale and lift your chest, relax the head back. If you've got that wiggle room, see if you can bring the hips, the bum off the ground and just stretch there. Lift it up and then exhale back down. Good. Release those hands. Start to come onto your knees and then bring your legs out straight. So I'm going to come to the side just so you can see my little forward fold. I'm covered in hay because I cleaned the guinea pigs out today. Please excuse that. So sitting up nice and tall for me, toes facing towards the ceiling. If you need to, if you like me with a bit of a bum, then you're just going to move your bum out of the way so you can feel your sit bones. And when we take a forward fold, we're going to start from the hips and think about rolling down from there. So it's not coming from those shoulders until the very end. So if you need to, Bend your knees to bring your toes closer towards you because I want you to feel like you can be in a position where the arms are relaxed when you're taking your forward fold. Okay, so rather than hunched all the way over. So just put the feet wherever you need them to be. Move your bum out of the way. Take an inhale, lift the hands all the way up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're leaning forward, starting with your tummy, relax it down, work through the vertebrae. If you can hook onto your big toes, I just want you to take your index and middle finger, your peace fingers, hold onto your big toes, relax those elbows down and relax the head down. We've got 3 breaths here. Same thing, so we can inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale, soften down. Good. 2 more breaths. So inhale, make the room. Exhale, ease into it. Last one, all the way up. And down. We can start to release those feet. On your inhale, gently roll up 1 notch at a time. Give your legs a little bit of a shake if they need it. So they come to the front again. We're just going to stretch into the hips a little bit. So we're going to take a rock the baby pose. So I want you to take 1 foot into your opposite hand and then hug it in towards you. So we're trying to bring the shin up. So rather than the foot facing down or coming down towards the other leg, we're bringing it up. If you can, you're going to tuck that foot into your elbow crease. If that's too tight, then just hold on to it wherever you can. And just take your little rock side to side for me. Ignore my other foot. I have no control over it. If you needed to deepen the stretch tool, just gently lean back. Take your free hand, place it behind you, just so you don't roll over. Give it a little squeeze and then release. Same thing for the other side. So take your time, bring the foot up, take it into your opposite hand, hug it in. If you can, going in towards that elbow crease, keeping the shin up and a little rock. Good. If you felt comfortable too, we can lean back, give it a squeeze. Good. Give it one last little hug and then release. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Grab a little drink if you need it. And then we'll go into a bit of a flow. I'm just going to casually come over here and just make sure we are all good. We're all happy. Hello, hello, hello. Amazing. Fab. So let's have a little flow around, eh? See how it feels. Once you're ready, I want you to come into your box pose for me. So box pose, knees under the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows tucked in. So if you naturally have that little movement of your elbows, if the inside of your elbow likes to face out, then you're just going to tuck them in so your arms are nice and strong. So they do have a tendency sometimes when you get a bit flexible just to kind of squeak out. We're going to try and keep them tucked in for me. I know it's a horrifying thing to watch, so I'm going to keep them tucked in. Nice flat back. And we'll come into those cat-cow. So look out in front. Inhale, lift your head and your bum nice and high. Belly low as you look up. And then exhale, curl the spine all the way up. So we're looking in between the legs. Good. Take a nice big inhale, lift up to cow. Try and push the hands down, push the shoulders away from the ears. And again, exhale, curls you round. One more just the same. So big inhale, lift up. Push those hands down. And then exhale, curls you round. Little moving cat-cow there. So in your cat pose, looking between your legs, slowly bring your bum down to your feet. So we're sliding into child's pose. Got hair everywhere. Once you're there, if you can, just send the hands a little further away. Bring that head down. Get the stretch in the shoulders. Soften those elbows down. And as you take your inhale, gently roll back up and into your cow pose. So I'm going to bring those hands, just move them so they're underneath the shoulders. Elbows tucked in. You might have spotted my casual little tuck them in. We'll do that 2 more times. So curl the spine into cat. Slowly come down. Lengthen the arms if that feels good. Definitely feeling stuff in my back a lot more than I usually do. So feels good just to Spend a little bit more time there. Just release the back. Soften the elbows down. Inhale up. And one more time, just in your own time with me. So if it feels good just to stick to the cat-cows just as we did before, do. If that movement feels good, stick with that. If you want to just hide in child's pose for the rest of the time, we can do that too. I feel like I could. There we go. And all the way up. I promise that'd be a very dull class for you, otherwise, wouldn't it, if I was just in child's pose for an hour? Nice and neutral spine for me. From this position, look forward. We're just going to take the legs out. So we need to keep both hands down. I normally do opposite arm to leg, but we're just going to keep the arms down. Looking forward, send your right leg out behind you. Okay, so we're trying to get a nice straight line. We even point those toes for me. I want you to inhale, lift the leg a little higher so you feel it in your bottom. And then exhale back to a nice straight line. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So I inhale, lift it up, feel it in your bum, and then exhale down. And one more time, big inhale, lift up. And exhale down, good. Bring the knee down, same thing onto that left side. So have a little shifty around in the middle. Once you feel ready to look forward, send your left leg out behind you. Again, nice and straight, pointing the toes or flexing them might feel good. And 3 times, inhale, lift that leg. And exhale, just come back to that straight line. Good. 2 more, inhale, lift up. And down. Last one for me. Big inhale, lift it up. Good. Exhale back down. Bring that knee down to the ground. Have a little movement side to side. It could be our little bum wag, so we look over the shoulder and wiggle our bum around. Have a little look at it. Come back to your neutral spine and we'll come up for that down dog. So moving your hands just slightly further away, curl the toes. Big inhale to lift it up. Bum's nice and high, heels off the ground, walk it on the spot. Really push all the way into the back of those legs. See how they feel today. Breathing deep. Taking those feet out nice and wide. Give your bum a little wiggle. Maybe bend the knees. Whatever feels good. Remember, child's pose is your friend here. If you just need a little breather at any point, come down to child's pose. I want you to bring your feet just a little bit closer together. We're going to take a little down dog split with our right leg and draw 3 big circles with that leg. So gently lean to your left, inhale, lift the right leg nice and high. As you exhale, drop that foot down towards the ground and then sweep it over to the right. So we're drawing that big old circle. If this feels too much, just take the circle from your knee. So bend the knee and draw that circle. Or if you can, take that inhale, lift it up, stretch it out, and bring it down. Once you've taken those 3 circles, feel free just to pedal the feet. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. So inhale, lift your left leg nice and high. As you exhale, sweep it over to the side. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, sweep. And one more time. Big inhale, lift up. Good. And exhale, bring it down. Start to soften those knees. Let's gently walk up to the top of our mat for forward fold. So let's get those pressure off the hands. Walk yourself up. Once you're there, rearrange all your clothes. Feet hip distance apart. So 2 fists between your big toes. Knees nice and soft for me. And we'll ragdoll. So we bring hands to opposite elbows. Relax the head down. Have a nice big sway side to side. Try and relax the face here. Down to the neck, the shoulders. Feel the arms drop. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale. And then as you exhale, we're just going to relax those hands down towards the ground. Coming into a little twist. So I want you to take your right hand to the outside of your left ankle and then inhale that left hand all the way up to the ceiling, looking up if you can. Exhale back down. Same thing on the other side. So we cross it over. Big inhale, lift up. And then exhale, soften it back down. Bend those knees. Inhale, roll up to stand. Squeeze the tummy as you go. Big exhale once we're up. Have a little dance, have a little wiggle. And then we're going to see how the balance feels, which is always a really dodgy idea. So I want you to lean towards your left for me. Squeeze your tummy. Inhale, lift that right knee up towards your chest. Soften your standing leg and just start a bit of movement here. So it could be movement intentional, could be unintentional, but just keep that standing knee nice and soft. Use your free hand for any kind of jazz hands. Good. Swaying the knee, opening the hip. Take a big inhale, lift the knee up to the chest. Exhale, back, low lunge. So sweep it all the way back and bring those hands down for me. Good. Just a little sway once you're there. So swaying into the feet, a little forward and back. Bring that right hand down. Inhale the left hand all the way up to the ceiling for our twist. And then exhale back down. Onto your open side. So we inhale, lift that right hand all the way up this time. And then exhale, softens it back down. Good. Ground the hands down, push back, down dog. So straight push back, all the way back. Pedal into those feet. Relax the head in your down dog for me. Give it a little shake. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to walk all the way up to the top of our mat for forward fold again. Take your time. If you heard that, it's a creaky floorboard. I promise it's not me. Once you're there, feet hip distance apart, knees nice and soft. Either ragdoll again, so those hands to opposite elbows, or just drop the arms down to the ground and have a little sway, a little zombie sway side to side. Breathing deep. Feel the shoulders release and open. Feel the face relax. Take a nice big deep inhale. And then exhale down. Good. Little twist again. So right hand outside of the left leg. Inhale that left hand all the way up to the ceiling, looking up. And exhale back down. Same thing on the other side. So big inhale, lift up. And then exhale back down. Bend those knees. Inhale, roll up to stand. Squeeze the tummy as you go. Head's the last thing up. Nice big deep breaths. Good. Let's going to see how the balance is on the other leg. Okay. Lean towards your right. Oh, this is the squeaky floorboard. Lean towards the right. Inhale, lift the left knee up towards your chest. Soften that standing leg. Again, just any little movement that feels good here. It might feel good to open and close that knee. It might feel good just doing any kind of crazy little dance with your free hand. That's what I'm going for today. But just keep that standing leg nice and soft. Inhale, lift the knee up to the chest. Exhale, back, low lunge. Sweep it back, hands down. Good. Same thing as before, just a little forward and back for me here. Rocking on the spot. It just helps us with that alignment, just to see where it feels good, maybe where it doesn't feel so good. We want to move away from there. Twisted lunge again. So left hand down. Inhale that right hand nice and high. And then exhale back down. Onto the open side. So right hand can go a little further away. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Exhale back down. Good. Ground those hands down. Push back, down dog. Big push. All the way back. Good. Pedal into those feet. Breathe. If you fancy a little challenge before a little child's pose, I want you to lean over towards your left. See if you can pick up your right hand. Send it back. Touch your left leg, just wherever you can touch it. And then bring it back down. Good. Same thing on the other side. So I send my left leg back, touch my right leg, maybe my right toes, I don't know, shin, wherever you can. And then place them back. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, we soften the knees down to the ground, uncurl the toes, and rest it back in child's pose. Take a few breaths there for me. Again, that was more of a floorboard than my knee, but that did sound pretty brutal. Please ignore all these sounds. And my hair. Also on Instagram, if you can hear nibbling and fighting, that's two angry guinea pigs next to you. I'm hoping on YouTube you don't hear it so much because I've got a mic on. But shouldn't feed them cucumber before I start. Makes them go crazy. Okay, so I hope you're all okay. Again, I wish I could read these things, but I can't. You're too far away. Hello, hello, hello. Amazing. So hopefully you're all doing good. Fab. How are we for time? Amazing. I reckon we've got time for another little flow and then some hips. How does that sound? You hip openers. Mm. Okay, okay. So do grab a little drink if you need it. If you're happy to. Second little flow for you. And we're going to look at those legs. I think we're going to do a few little stretches for those legs. Maybe look at a little warrior 3, little balance and legs. So I'm going to tell you. We'll just give it a go together. See what happens. So, child's pose for me to start. Again, just taking your time coming down. If you're like me and keep making the error of eating your tea before you do yoga, it's always a good idea to put your knees out a little bit wider and give your belly more room. Give my tacos more room. Breathe nice and deep. On your next inhale, I want you to slowly start to lift up through box pose and then into that down dog. So curl the toes, big inhale, lift up. Good. Pedal into those feet. From there, it's our down dog split to low lunge with the right leg. So take a nice big inhale, lift that right leg nice and high, bend the knee, look forward. Exhale, sweep it on through to low lunge. Again, give it that little wiggle if it needs convincing. Good. From that position, lift and lower 3 times. So I'm going to start by taking the hands away. Make sure the legs feel nice and strong. Look forward. Take an inhale, lift it up, push through those feet. Exhale back down, nice and slow. Good. 2 more the same. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale down. One last time. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften it down. Good. Now we're going to take a big old rock here, little leap of faith coming into our warrior 2 position. So bend your left knee. Start to shift your hands to the top of your mat. So I'm going to shift it forward, lift the left leg and rock everything onto my right. Now, if this is pretty tight, I want you to bend your knees and wiggle your left foot a little bit like you've got a tail. Let's put it that way. And you're just going to wiggle everything around. Okay. I won't test the balance too much here. Well, I'm going to test it a little bit, but not too crazy. But what I want us to do 3 times from this really soft position with the knees bent, I want you to inhale, see if you can lengthen those legs a little bit, stretch the leg out behind you. And then as you exhale, soften down. 2 more of those for me. So inhale, try and stretch it out. And exhale down. Last one, big inhale, open out. Exhale, soften down. Good. Looking out in front of you. This is your challenge. You're going to squeeze your tummy. Inhale up to stand. Bring that left knee with you. So I'm going to inhale. Oh, no, I lost it completely there. Inhale up. And then I'm going to hug the left knee in. Oh, that was terrible. I blame the wall being so close to me, but I think if anything, that should help. From there, soften your standing knee. And we're going to come into a little tree pose. So this left foot can go wherever you're most comfortable. I'm going to come to the side just to show your options. So if you're feeling a bit wobbly bobbly, which clearly I am today, the foot can stay on the ground and the heel can come in towards the top of your ankle, inside of your ankle. Yeah, we'll go for that phrase. If you wanted to go a little bit higher, place the foot inside that calf. Do I dare show you a bit higher? If you wanted to go higher, you're going to tuck it above your knee. Whoa. But if you're clearly like me today, this is my better leg. I shall show you my better leg, what I'm trying to get on about. Joggers probably aren't the best ideal thing to place. But what I don't want you to do basically is put the foot onto your knee joint. So if we push it onto the knee joint, it's just not a comfortable place to be. So it's going to be your left foot. I'm going to come to the front. Tell you what, my balance has been absolute bobbins of late. So we're just going to place the foot. We're going to place the foot. I'm going to focus. We're going to place that foot somewhere nice and low. Keep a little tiny bend in your standing leg for me. And then if you feel happy to, if your balance is better than mine today, inhale, lift those hands up towards the ceiling. And a little bit of wobble is good in tree. The thing you've got to think about with trees is that they wobble in the breeze, they sway in the breeze. They try not to fall over, but they do. But we can place the foot flat. Good. I'm going to keep looking out in front. That's what's going to help me. I'm going to squeeze my tummy, squeeze my core. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to release that tree. Send the left leg back, low lunge. Good. Have a little move around. Honestly, I've got to find out what's wrong with my balance. Breathe deep. And this time we're coming into plank pose. So we're grounding those hands down, pushing the right leg back to plank. So we can shift the hips a little bit here, tuck your bum in for me, and then slowly come down to the ground, either full plank, soften those knees down first, uncurl the toes, keep your elbows tucked in if you can, and slowly come down. Try not to face plant too much if you can help it. Coming up for a little bit of a cobra pose. So if your lower back is quite tender, quite tight at the moment, bring your hands to the top and the width of your mat and come up from there. If you're happy in your lower back, it feels good, hands are right by your chest, elbows tucked in. We look forward and then inhale, lift it up just to the spot that feels good. And once you're there, I want you to have a little wiggle around, kind of feel like a seal, basically. Have a little sway. If you feel happy to, I want you to start to sway up to one side and look over the opposite shoulder. So again, we're just trying to wake everything up. So I'm kind of rocking over to the left, looking over my right shoulder. Rocking over to the right, looking over the left shoulder. Good. One more time. So inhale. And as you exhale, slowly coming back down to the ground, keep those elbows tucked in for me. Good. We're coming all the way up to down dog. One big movement if you can. Curl your toes. Big inhale, push all the way up and back. Good. Pedal into those feet. Oh, I've got to try my balance on the other side now. So, down dog, split low lunge, left leg. Take a big inhale, lift that left leg nice and high, bend the knee, look forward, exhale, sweep through. Pew. I made the pew noise that I used to make. Again, have a little bit of movement there. See how it feels. We're going to lift and lower 3 times. So start by taking those hands away. Make sure the legs feel nice and strong. Look forward. Inhale, lift it up, push through those feet. Keep looking at the same spot to help. And then exhale back down. 2 more the same. Big inhale, lift up. I'm going to try and take my own advice. Exhale back down. Last one for me. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale back down. Good. Coming in towards warrior 3. So bend that back knee, sweep the hands to the top of the mat, and lift your right leg behind you. Again, remember, you can be super soft here with those knees. You can sort of wobble your right foot around, wobble your head, do whatever feels good. 3 breaths here. We're just going to open up as best we can. So inhale, start to lengthen everything out. And then exhale, soften it back down. 2 more the same for me. So inhale, open up. Exhale, back down. Last one. Inhale, open up. Exhale, back down. Look forward, squeeze your tummy. Inhale up to stand. Bring that right knee with you. Whoa, that was a little bit better than the other leg. And have a little bit of moment there. Just sway, breathe. Find your focus coming into tree. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, we're placing that foot down. With this little tree, I want you to just to think about opening that hip. So with my right knee, I'm trying to send it a little further out to the side. You should feel this just into your hip. This time we're just going to inhale, bring those hands to the chest in prayer pose. Feel your breath. Feel your heart beating. Breathe. If you fancy a giggle, see if you can close your eyes and find that balance. Tell you what, not today. Take a big inhale, release from tree, hug the knee up to the chest. Exhale back, low lunge. Breathe. Good. Wiggle about. Ground the hands down, push back to plank. Big push. Good. Have a little sway, little movements. Coming down to the ground. So again, you can either go full plank for me here, keep the elbows tucked in, or drop the knees down first, but nice and slow, wherever you are, and release down. Good. Coming into our cobra again with our little wiggles, but I want you to take your feet out wide for this one. So the knot in my t-shirt is slightly in the wrong place for me there. Hands right by the chest. Remember, you can take them up towards the top of your mat if you prefer. So just see how this feels. With the legs out wide, you should feel this more in the lumbar spine. We look forward, inhale, gently up, again, just to the spot that feels good. And then we've got our little wiggles, our little bum wiggles, just to help us relax down. Tucking my elbows in, they're being pesky. Same thing, if you can, lean over to your left, look over your right shoulder, bring it down, lean over to the right, look over your left shoulder. Little wiggle side to side, basically. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale, look up. And then as you exhale, tuck the elbows in, gently come down to the ground. Bring your feet together, push back, child's pose. Let's have a breather. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, send yourself back. Nice big deep breaths. Really try and stretch those arms out in this child's pose. Just to release the shoulders. Get that deeper stretch. If you wanted to here, you could take your knees out nice and wide. Keep your feet together and try and slowly bring your chest and your chin down. And it's going to be a little bit of a deeper stretch to your shoulders, so just see how they feel. I'm going to come even down onto the side of my face. Although that's the side with the microphone on that I've just kind of forgotten about. Sorry, gang. I'll turn over the other side. If it gets too much in the shoulders, bring your hands in towards the inside of your mat and keep those elbows out wide. And you can slowly start to come up, walk yourself up, and grab a little drink if you need it. Hopefully, you're all still with me, and your balance is probably a lot better than mine today. What I will say about balance is it is very changeable, and it's not just a case of the physical. A lot of balance is to do with the mental. So in yoga, I often mention this in my classes, but in yoga, you have your monkey mind. And the idea of your monkey mind is that it's that chatter. So when we start to think of all those crazy, weird thoughts, they're always a bit obscure, kind of, did I lock the front door? And have I don't know, put the guinea pig in the microwave? I didn't put the guinea pig in the microwave, but did I do something really strange? And it's that chat of random things that you think of. And when you're trying to focus, or in particular when you're trying to balance and you find yourself being very wobbly, that's often in yoga your monkey mind that's the issue rather than your physical body. A lot of the reason we have so much balance in yoga is to help us focus the mind really, and kind of check in with the mind and how we feel. So you'll notice if your mind is elsewhere, if you've got a busy mind, a monkey mind, your balance is probably a little bit naff. So obviously I'm probably thinking of too many things at the moment, and that means my balance is all kind of out of whack. So balances are there to help you focus, because you have to focus when you're doing them. As soon as your mind wanders, you wobble all over the place. So that's kind of why you'll find a lot of them in yoga. You'll find a lot of different balances, but they're good for that. But just be kind to yourself if you're like me and today you're having a wobbly day. That doesn't mean you're going to always be really wobbly with your balances. You're just having a particular wobbly day. It will pass. And hopefully you will have less chatter the next day. Okay, so where are we time-wise? Doing okay. So I still want to put in our relaxation at the end because I think that's a nice one to do. But we'll just look at our hips a little bit. I think we shall go for a bit of pigeon. I fancy a bit of pigeon today. Does that sound good? So if you are someone who comes to my classes, or you know kind of what I mean when I say pigeon pose, feel free to work your way into it. I'm going to show you it. So if you've not done pigeon before, feel free just to watch for a little while. Um, and then I'll kind of do it a second time where we could do it together. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to come into down dog to start with. This is just the way that I like to come into pigeon. Everyone's different. So I would come up into down dog. From there, I'm taking a down dog split with my right leg. So I inhale, lift my right leg nice and high, bend my knee as politely as I can put it, cock your leg. So just sort of take the knee over to the side. From there, exhale, sweep the knee through. So my right knee is coming behind my right hand, and my left foot is over to the left. Drop the back knee down, uncurl the toes, and lengthen as much as you can here. So you can see that back leg. I'm trying to slide it away from me. Once you're there, have your little wiggle, have a little move around, see how it feels. We're trying to keep those hips down. If you find your front foot has come really close in towards your body, lean over to your side and just wiggle it forward a little bit, just as much as you can. Don't need to worry about being too precise here because everyone's going to be very different. Some days your hips might feel a little tighter than others. If you're happy to stay up in pigeon, we can stay up. If you wanted to, we can try and come down to the forearms or even all the way down, the head on the ground. If you wanted to stretch your quads to the top of your legs, a great pose you can do from here is to, for me personally, again, short arm syndrome, I lift my chest. So I place my hand on my knee just to help me lift the chest. From there, I'm bringing up that back foot now. I'm going to see if I can grab it, and that's going to give me that big old stretch in my quad. But if you find that foot feels a bit far away, leggings are a great place to start because they give you a bit more wiggle room. Or I would go and find a belt or your dressing gown belt, hoop it around your foot and hold on to that wherever you are. Okay, then I'm going to look forward. If you wanted a bit more of a challenge, then you're going to see if you can take your hand at the front. Ooh, send it back. Haven't done that for a few days. And then stretch them both back. Okay, it's a good little stretch for your back. Definitely feeling my back right now. And practice maybe taking the other hand back. It might be that that feels a bit more comfortable for you. Just see what works today. If none of it work, or if you find you're in this pose and you want to quickly get out of it, your quickest way is just to lean over to the side that you can and then sort of flop over. Okay? And equally, that's kind of the way that you can slowly get into it if you didn't want to come into down dog. So remember, your knee is in line with that right hand, your foot is over to the left. So think about trying to draw. I would say number 7, but that seems quite excessive in the front leg department. So think of a number 1. So that angle of a number 1 at the top of your leg here, and then sending it all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you again. If you are in your down dog, you're going to take down dog split with the right leg. So inhale, lift the right leg nice and high, bend the knee, cock your leg. And then as you exhale, sweep the knee through. So sweeping the knee through so it tucks behind your right hand, foot over to the left. Soften the back knee down, uncurl the toes, lengthen out as best you can. Have your little wiggle around. Either keeping the chest up, relaxing down, playing around with that back foot. If you had something to hand, like a cushion, you could pop it under your right bum cheek just to help support you a little bit more. Just see what works for you today. That's all we're trying to do. Now, if you've been in this from the start, it's probably time to switch legs. You're probably quite keen to switch legs. So I want you to curl your back toes, lift that knee, big push with the hands back to down dog. So big push all the way back. You can make whatever noises you like. I can't hear you. Pedal those feet. Then we'll do the same thing for the left leg. So we inhale, lift the left leg nice and high, bend the knee, cock your leg again, send it over. Exhale, sweep the knee through. So left knee, left hand, foot over to the right. Soften the back knee down, uncurl the toes, lengthen it out. If you need to, lean over to the left just so you can wiggle the foot forward and then come back down. See how it feels. Give your bum a little shifty around. And you can kind of just sway in the hips a little bit with this one. And you're just looking for those spots that feel good. You want to sort of gravitate towards the spots that feel good. And maybe give a little bit more space to the spots that don't feel so good today. We can come down to the forearms if that felt good or not. And one side might feel very different from the other. You might have one hip that just isn't as happy as the other one, and it's kind of a bit tighter. So just be nice to it. Take your time. If you wanted to go for that stretch in towards the quad, maybe you want to come up to the hands to start with. I'm going to place my hand on my knee, bring myself back, see if I can get that stretch. So this would be a good time, especially if you feel like you've got a bit of space between this bum cheek and the floor. I'm trying to find a polite way to put that. Then pop a cushion under there just to support you. See about both of those. It's one of those things, if I don't do it on a regular basis, you do kind of lose them a little bit, but then they come back again. Good. Last few breaths here. Hopefully we're all good over there. Yep. On that next inhale, slowly start to come back onto those hands. Draw them in towards you. Curl the back toes. Lift the knee. Push back, down dog. Walk on the spot. That made my guinea pigs made a really weird noise. I don't know why. Pedal the feet. Take a nice big deep inhale. And then as you exhale, soften the knees down to the ground. Uncurl the toes. Rest back in child's pose. And you have survived. You have made it through. You can spend as long as you'd like in child's pose. I will do my little relaxation for you. So if you have the time, I would suggest staying a little bit longer. And then that will probably take us up to our hour. If you don't have the time, I'd still make the time, but if you definitely can't do it, just take a few breaths for me just to help you relax before you go about the rest of your evening. If you do have the time, I would switch your lights off. I would pop some socks on, blankets, lock yourself away, and we'll just have a little guided meditation and a bit of time to relax. So I'll let you have a few minutes to do that. I just want to check what's going on over here. Hopefully we are all still there. Amazing, 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 amazing. Cool. So, so get comfy for me. I'm just going to stay seated because it is the easiest way for me to talk through a meditation. But I do want you to either lie completely flat. If that's uncomfortable, bend your knees. So if you feel like, just move this. If this is a little bit too uncomfortable to lie flat, or you feel that naturally you're getting a dip in your back, I want you to place your knees flat, tuck your tummy in. So just roll onto your hips so that you're lying completely flat. And that's going to be a lot more comfortable for you as you just ease into this position. And you might find after a few breaths, after a few minutes, you can lie flat or even in a little sort of scooty position with the legs, however it feels good, and the back stays flat. But just go for what feels good for you. And I just want you to start by taking some nice big deep breaths all the way down to the belly. Hopefully these guinea pigs are going to relax with us. Stop fighting over cucumber. Bless them, they had one day outside and then the weather changed and then I brought them back in. Okay, so big deep breaths all the way down to the belly. As you breathe in, we can just feel the belly expand and lift. And as you breathe out, just feeling it soften back down. Then we'll just start at the very top of the head. Slowly releasing all the tiny muscles in the scalp, down behind the backs of the ears, and the nape of the neck. If it feels good, we can just turn the head side to side, just easing it down to the ground and feeling it soften out. Working back through to the hairline and gently onto the face. Just want you to raise your eyebrows up, feel that tension rise in the forehead, and release. Just feeling the face relax. Moving down to the eyes, you can gently roll them one way and then back the other way. And just soften them down into the sockets. Moving down the bridge of the nose and the cheeks, all the way through to the jawline. We can just clench the teeth together, feel that tension rise in the mouth, and release. Just feeling the whole face relax. Softening the tongue and the mouth. You can send that feeling all the way down the throat and the neck, deep into the collarbone. In turn, just shifting that feeling into the shoulder blades, maybe moving them side to side. Then working over to the shoulders and gently down the arms, all the way to the elbows and the forearms, through the wrists, and then deep into the hands. You can just clench the hands into fists, feel that tension rise all the way up, and release. Just feeling them relax back down. Moving up to the very top of the back. You can just work our way down the vertebrae, one notch at a time, easing it down to the ground, all the way to the hips. Sending that feeling up to the top of the chest. You can just follow the breath as it releases across the chest, down into the ribs and sides, and all the way into the belly. Just relaxing the muscles as we go. Shifting that feeling into the hips. Maybe just allowing them to move side to side. And then sending that feeling into the tops of the legs and the thighs, all the way down to the kneecaps. We can just squeeze the knees in, feel that tension rise in the legs, and release. Just feeling them soften back down. working through the shins and the calves, all the way through the ankles, and then deep into the feet. We'll just create that final piece of tension there by squeezing the toes as much as we can. Feel the tension rise up and release. Just feeling them relax, and the feet maybe soften to the side. So I just want you to take a few moments here just to focus on your breath. Feel the rising and falling of the tummy and the body softening down. If you find any thoughts come, we just acknowledge them and let them go. Very gently, you can just bring that attention back towards the breath, back towards the body. We can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Just feel a bit of energy moving through the body. Just want you to take one big full body stretch to help you wake up. So a big inhale lifts the arms all the way up and over. You need to really stretch your fingers and stretch your toes. And then as you exhale, just gently come back down. And in your own time, nice and slow, I just want you to bring yourself up, just rolling onto one side, and come back to that seated pose where we first started. Take your time, nice and slow. If you have a blanket over you, just keep it over. You can be wrapped up all like Gollum, it's all okay. Sitting up nice and tall. And we're just going to take our 3 breaths to tune out in the same way we tuned in. Bringing the hands down to the sides. Take that big inhale to float all the way up. Easy exhale out the mouth. Brings the hands down to the chest. Just plugging those thumbs into the heartbeat. Find that nice, easy rhythm. 2 more times just the same. Big inhale floats you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. And one last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, it's a good time just to scan through the body again and just notice how it feels. You can then draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much, just noticing how it feels in the body. And finally, the mind. Just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. And namaste. Thank you very much. If you're watching on Instagram, I think it has finished because it has been literally an hour. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's session. Um, Lots of different stretches going on in my body today, but feeling good. Hope you enjoyed it. I have a really funny feeling. I suddenly crossed my mind mid class that I have a meeting when I'm meant to be doing, or when I said I would do, the Thursday lunchtime class. So I will either move it to another lunchtime if I can this week. I'll have to have a little look at my diary, or if not, I actually have some uploads that I'm going to try and do. So I will upload a video at the same time instead. So there'll be something going on Thursday at 12, but it might not be live. But I shall let you know, because that just suddenly came to me. I don't know why. But I hope you're doing really, really well anyway. And I shall see you very, very soon. Namaste. Have a lovely night.